The revolution may not be televised, but it is definitely not going to happen in silence. And at this particular time, as artists, there's one thing that we need to do that will make the change we feel, see, sense, and want to express possible. Peace, my name is Stacy Patrice. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today, the topic that came to me right before I turned on this camera was about how so many of us are moving as artists in the world, but are moving in silence. And, when it comes to the code of the streets and the code of, you know, being competitive, silence and moving in silence is beneficial. But when it comes to being a person who wants to shape, change, or build a different world, that needs a voice. And not only does it need a voice, it needs a voice that can be loud at the right time, can be in the front at the right time, can create from a more intimate space. And that's the piece that stuck with me is the intimacy of a thing. And I want to talk about that just a bit because I think when we hear the word intimate, we just mean, oh, it's our own expression. It's something that's near and dear to us. It's important to us. But I want to put a little heat on that intimacy. And the reason why is when I think about this, for instance, there's this music that I hear a lot that I want to say I am writing, but I know I am just listening to for right now. And this music that's happening is giving me a lot of insight into what is really going on in my life. So, you have your inner world and the outer world. And the outer world, it's wild, right? It's wild out here. It's raging. There's a lot going on. There are a lot of different causes, lots of things that need help fixing, shaping, understanding, lots of context, lots of data that's going on in the world between social media and politics and our own communities and our own inner worlds that we bring to that outer world, right? And what people are and are not doing with their inner world. And as I think about the inner world, it is this beautiful landscape full of expression. Like there's so many things. It was overwhelming to think of the amount of things that are present in the inner world. And the more that you meditate, the more that you move through the world, the more you are courageous and audacious, the more that inner world starts to get texturized and build. And it goes from being like this little speck to this huge universe. And so this universe that is inside of the artist, the universe that is inside of the person who wants to express is pushing and pressurizing right now because as we can see, so many of the expressions are just repeats, reboots, remixes. People are taking old material and trying to make it new, trying to make it relevant, saying it's for the next generation. All of these things that we don't need people to do. The original recordings, the masters, all of those things are available to be able to hear the first version of it. So we don't need anybody to reboot it with people now. That's actually inauthentic. Reboots are actually, in a sense, inauthentic because you are now revising the original intention of the material, which was probably never intended to span 3, 4, 5 decades without it being in its original form. So when we think about our lives, think about this policy or this property as well, that we don't need to reboot the things that we've done. We need to possibly rename them. We need to give them different wings, give them more space, and definitely more intimacy. And the intimacy comes from when you see an artist, for instance, I'm thinking of an artist in particular who is really, really well versed, very, very good at what it is that this artist does. Like they have the pedigree, they have the training, they have the mastery, they have the background, they have the fame, they have the celebrity, they have all of these things. They have the work ethic. It's so beautiful. Like you just have to like applaud this person for being all of those things at once, right? But this artist's work is so far from the artist, right? This artist's work is wrapped and warped into the matrix of masculinity. And this is not a masculine presenting artist. This artist is armored. There are things around this artist's perception of self that make what it is that is being expressed not able to really resonate and reach the people who want most to cheer on and listen to this artist. There is a particular type of like distance between what the artist is expressing and what you can sense is actually going on with the artist. And I remember feeling this way about a couple of more artists that are actually really, really big. I'm talking top of the food chain level artists and celebrities. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why do I feel like when I listen to this person's music, I don't get any of them? They actually keep all of them away from the music. And so people are like, oh, this person's so good. They're so great. They're a legend. They're this, they're that. But I don't feel any of them in their music. I don't know who that person is. And they reinforce not knowing who they are because they want that mystique, they want that mystery, they want that huge, star effect. And it's backfiring. It's backfiring majorly because that particular star really wants nothing more than to be accepted and wants nothing more than for people to connect to that actual plight of what's going on in that artist's life. So it just reminded me, thinking of these two people, it just reminded me in my own work, in my own inner world, how can I bring people closer in? And I'm not talking about exploit myself. I'm not talking about tell all my business. I'm talking about be seen, be visible. How can I bring people closer in? What is it that a person would need to know to be closer in to the artist, to the person that's creating? And whether it's music, whether it's illustration, whether you are a healer, you have content, whatever it is, how can you bring a person closer in? And there are all these marketing techniques about how to share your authentic story, and all of them are anything but authentic. A lot of them are so curated and in some instances circumcised. Yeah, I said it. They're curated and circumcised because they pull away from what it is that's actually there, the real meat. Okay. Well, y'all know we went there. The real meat of what's actually there and give you a little snippet. Oh, damn. Wasn't trying to do that. But whatever the case may be, we're thinking about how artists have this ability to share something great, something wonderful, something beautiful, something big, something magnificent. And we keep clipping it and keep repackaging it and keep further boxing it and then keep representing it. And it's like, yo, is there anything else? Is there something else? Is life bigger than just this thing? And a lot of times we're repackaging this thing because we know one, that's what we're good at. Two, we already have an audience. We don't want to disturb it. Three, we know that there's money in that industry. Four, we know there are people that are backing us that will keep pushing us to be this thing. But for people like myself and possibly like you, if you're still listening, is the reality that who you are is not able to exist in this thing. Like you have an entire universe inside of you that you are seeking to live out. So, in order to live it out, you have to build a thing that's as big as you understand your inner landscape to be. You can't just do this little piece, this little piece, that little piece, this little thing here, little thing there. Oh, hire me for X, hire me for Y, hire me for Z. And I just show up as the same robot in each instance. We have AI to do that. We don't need humans doing that. We definitely don't need artists doing that. We need artists building larger grounds for expression. And I'm not talking about, a larger ground where everybody gets on but you. No, I'm talking about for all of us. That includes you. You can't exclude you from the masterpiece, right? You are part of the masterpiece. We are part of the masterpiece. So this new thing is like civic work. It's where artists begin to start working on the problems of the world and being the creative problem solvers that we are. And some of our problem solving is not about, entering into other industries and realms and purporting to be professional. It's really about taking what you understand inside yourself and understanding is valid, that you don't need this long, drawn out history of a thing in order to come up with a problem solved. When you are solving a problem, you can then hire the people that come in and do the thing that you don't know how to do. But as an artist, it's important that you even give it light, you give it the time of day, creation, ability, probability. And then you find your team, you find your squad that will help you put it together. So this is about that intimacy. It's about you have to let people in for that to happen. If you're holding everything so near and dear to you, you can't get people in that are going to help make this thing happen. But you also have to be keen on your intuition, your discernment in order to know who are the people that are coming in either to take it, to exploit it, to benefit off of it, or to wrangle it into submission so that it keeps being the same thing that they can count on that is, durable and supplies their needs. There are lots of reasons why artists are, in a weird state right now. AI, of course, being one of them. And what is the future of an art career? What is the future of a person who has been creating art all their lives? But you have to also realize that everything that exists has been created. Everything that will exist, has existed, and is existing is something that has been created. So there will always be a place, as long as there are humans, for people who are creators, for people who know themselves as artists that just see their artist one way. Well, that is starting to peel away and strip away. And it's not about technology or not technology. It's about sustainability in a world that needs more from you than just a product, than just a face, than just a video, than just a thing. It's about the world saying there's so much more where this comes from. Why is that not being presented? Why is that not being created? And you can create all up inside of there. But why is that not being created? And that's what is needed right now. I want to know your thoughts, whether you're an artist or whether you are a person who benefits from the creations of artists, or whether you're in other industries where you start to feel like there's just not enough answers. 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, it's because there's not enough art. There's not enough soul infused into the things that need answering, that need a different kind of mindset than the one we're accustomed to help create a new reality. And if you believe that, or even if you don't, leave a comment. I want to hear your comments. I want to be able to hear what it is that you're feeling, what your inner landscape is telling you. And by all means, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.